Thanks for joining my Buddhism meeting today. I'm going to mute all of you so I can start the recording. Is that all right? Mute all.
Okay.
Okay. So, first of all, let me say Happy New Year. This is the first meeting I have in the new year of 2024. And because it's the new year, this is why I've chosen the topic hope. 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 The reason why I choose this topic is because last year, maybe some of you haven't overcome your obstacles, and maybe some of us have not achieved our target. So, this is why I want to encourage everybody and tell everybody that there is always hope. When there is life, there is hope. So, let me begin. I'm quoting what Sensei is saying. He says, hope is found within. Sensei says he views the true source of hope as the internal life of the individual. Of course, external influences like caring parents, great teachers, and empowering experiences are crucial to awaken or strengthen this inner hope. But for Sensei, the external cannot do anything for the individual unless the hope has already been there. Even if deep inside, unless the hope is part of our DNA. At the same time, according to Sensei, nothing external can ever completely extinguish our hope. No terrible family situation, no bad teacher, no horrific experience can eliminate our hope. He clearly wants people to realize this basic point. No one is going to give you hope, and no one can ever take your hope away once you have it. He also wants people to know that they themselves are hope. The aforementioned hope of the nation, for instance, Sensei probably never heard anything specifically like this hopeful message as a child, unless it was from his mother, who had a simple way of encouraging a boy who so often struggled with illness. He shares in his book, Hope is a Decision, how his mother once likened him to the pomegranate tree growing in their yard. Look at that pomegranate tree. It's supposed to dislike salt, water, and sandy soil, like what we have around here. But still, it blooms and bears fruit every year. You may be weak now, but you are sure to grow strong someday. The majority of what Sensei heard in school was how great it was to be Japanese, a true superior race, and how great it was to serve, even sacrifice, one's life for the Japanese emperor. So, without telling his parents, he volunteered to serve in the Youth Air Corps, in which he would likely have become a kamikaze, which is a member of a Japanese Air Force which attacks corporations in World War II and was assigned to make a suicidal crash on a target. Fortunately, his father found out and put a quick stop to it. It was not until after the war, when Sensei first met his teaching, Mr. Josei Toda, that he heard a clear message that hope exists within, that he himself, at age 19, was a great hope for the future. Sensei says, hope grows when you share it. In his view, hope is nothing like a secret you keep to yourself. That would go against the true nature of hope, which is to move from within to without, from one person to another, and another in wider and wider circles. Hope is something that must be by nature be shared. The sharing strengthens it. Perhaps we could even say that hope that is not shared, hope that stays somewhere hidden, is not truly hope. Maybe it's only a dream, a fantasy, or maybe it's only a selfish wish. For Sensei, there is nothing all of humanity shares more than hope. the hope for world peace being the prime example. He writes, "We must open the way to a century without war, a century of peace. This, I believe, is our destiny and mission." Hope, destiny, mission. These inextricably bind us and can free us. Sensei is a Buddhist of deep faith. His Buddhist philosophy and practice have led him to the conclusion that the great world religions have no choice but to transcend their differences and work together. Buddhism that separates itself from the other religions is no longer Buddhism, he believes. He has put this principle into action by encouraging in numerous in-depth dialogues over the decades with leading figures from all the other religions, as well as with like-minded, peace-oriented thinkers who are non-religious. Sensei has recent years endorsed the view of religious scholar Harvey Cox that Buddhism could be an effective bridge between Christianity and Islam, since, unlike those religions, it is non-theistic, which means not believing in a creator God, thus leaving it more flexibility in finding points of agreement. The underlying idea, again, is that religions should focus on what they share, which would be, above all, a striving for hope. Sensei says, hope grows when it is tested. Sensei often makes the point that hope grows stronger when put to the test. A hope that takes longer to realize, for instance, is a much stronger hope than one instantly realized, one likely forgotten after coming too easily. In fact, a hope that takes longer to realize may keep growing and never stop. Things can always get better in the realm of hope. There is no end point. What can turn a small hope into a bigger hope? Resistance, trouble, situations requiring patience and persistence. Sensei says, he never forgets something Mr. Toda once wrote that inspired him in his youth. I am looking at great people of the past. We find that they remained undefeated by life's hardships, by life's pounding waves. They held fast to hopes that seemed more fantastic dreams to other people. How can people learn to hold fast to hopes? People today tend to discard their hopes rather easily, even carelessly. This is exactly where hardship comes in. Now I have to relate to you an experience I had with a member. She wanted to achieve something, but only in less than a month it's not coming. There were a lot of obstacles, and she said to me, I have no more hope. And you know how upset I was to hear this? If you have no more hope, why chant? Why practice Nichiren Buddhism? The key point to our practicing Buddhism is to have hope. So if you say that you have no hope, which means that you don't believe in Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, you don't believe in Nichiren Buddhism. And to me, it may sound serious, but to me this is an abuse to the law. Okay, let me go on. Sensei writes, sometimes it may be hard to see where or how to begin, but we cannot be paralyzed by despair. We must take each action towards the goals we have set and in which we believe. For instance, we believe that everybody deserves happiness, and our goal is to achieve happiness for ourselves and for others. So rather than passively accepting things as they are, we must embark on the challenge of creating a new reality. It is in this effort that true underlying hope is to be found. He certainly lived his own youth this way. Despite a doctor's evaluation that he would not live past his mid-20s. Even Toda thought Sensei would not live past 30. Sensei credits working for Mr. Toda, building his young life around rebuilding Mr. Toda's business enterprises as the thing that ultimately saved him. Because I knew that I had a job to do. Both my body and my spirit rose to the challenge. Eventually, I regained my health. Now this tells us that we have to look forward. If you are despair, if you are discouraged, you have no hope, just try to look in the future. Try to do things that will help yourself and help others. And then you will gain hope. I remember when I was at the lowest point of my life, I didn't see any future at that point. It was very, very early in my practice. But then my senior told me, she said, Lydia, you just have to tell yourself that you will be very happy in the future. And then you will be. So she gave me hope. So I started to chant for happiness, and now I'm very happy. So this is the hope that she gave me. Sensei credits working for Mr. Toda. Sensei says, hope grows through bigger hopes. Sensei says, real hope is found in committing ourselves to vast goals and dreams. Dreams that, such as a world without war and violence, a world where everybody can live in dignity. If we feel we are lacking in hope, perhaps our hopes are just not big enough, Sensei says. I think there is a Western saying which says, dare to dream. If you dare to dream, which means that this is your hope, and it will come true if you dare. Sensei's point is to find these bigger hopes inside ourselves, to find our own dream for world peace, for instance. It's not a hope we hold to just because it is the right hope to have. He believes that the hope for world peace and the other greater hopes of humanity are intrinsic to each of us, and we each have our own way of expressing. We may not feel this way at first, but this is why Sensei emphasizes digging deeper within. Go inside yourself. You have the best in yourself. Sensei says, hope grows when we value life itself. While there is life, there is hope. When Sensei struggled with illness in his youth, he used to tell himself, I'm still alive, which means that there is hope. Well, let me tell you a funny story. 2 months ago, I fell on a trip to the south of Sydney. I fell, and it was awful. And my wrists, the bones were broken, and I had to have a major surgery. And the doctors put a plate in my wrist, and now I'm left with a 3-inch ugly-looking scar. So yesterday, I had lunch with a very good friend of mine. We've known each other for a long time, and she's so innocent. Despite her age, she's still like a child. When we were talking, she looked at my wrist and looked at the scar, and she said, did you try to commit suicide? And I laughed and laughed and laughed my head off. I mean, anybody really know me knows that I treasure life, I value life, I enjoy life, and I'm always happy. There is no way I would commit suicide because I'm alive. I have hope and I'm happy. And her comment really made me laugh. Anyway, let me go back. How many people actually think this way? We often make the mistake of taking the simple fact that we are alive for granted. But if we are alive, the story is not over. Everything can change. We can still change. Anything can still happen. Although it is more myth than reality, we have in popular culture the sadly enduring image of people jumping to their deaths in 1929 after the stock market crash. Part of the story is that These poor souls could not see that the great crash, as bad as it was only temporarily. On the other side of the great crash and the Great Depression was financial hope and a different set of challenges. If this man could only have seen their own lives as hope, they would have eventually recovered. I've also learned everything that goes down will go up. Looking back at the stock market, no matter how badly they had fallen, given time, they are always risen above than their rock bottom line. For Sensei, self-respect and hope go hand in hand. He shares that he has been an avid reader of Walt Whitman, who is an influential poet in American history. Sensei once shared in a speech from Whitman, says, "My real self has yet to come forth. It shall yet stand up, the soldier of ultimate victory." First, we have Whitman's deep belief in his real self. He believes that he has it within him. He believes in his own life. Second, we have his belief that his real self is going to manifest more, and that the best has yet to come. He knows that he is going to keep becoming more and more himself as he lives in his life. Well, my interpretation is that he realizes Buddhahood and he will become a Buddha and be enlightened. He believes that this is how he's going to win in life, through the power of self. The ultimate victory will not be denied. We could say that this line of reasoning goes something like this. I am real. I will become more. I have Buddhahood. I am a Buddha. I will win through my own realness, which is Buddhahood. Sensei says, hope grows with great teachers. Through what Sensei tells us of Mr. Toda, it is obvious that Sensei's definition of a great teacher is one who has solid hope in his or her students. A student who can, based on his own or her own hope, awaken the hope already within each student's heart. A great teacher, then, is one who has the hope that the hope inside each student is definitely present. I'm Lydia, I'm talking. I've got the fortune of 3 senior members who are my great teachers, and all of them have encouraged me when I was very down and my faith was not strong, and they had all given me hope. Sensei writes, it is not too much to say that in the end, everything I have today I owe to the fact that I encountered such a great teacher. One who has willing to trust me without question. To be looked upon as trustworthy and reliable is surely one of the most valuable assets a person can have. For example, you say to somebody, I trust you. Now, this is the most powerful word. I'm telling you that my son, when he grew up, he did not have much encouragement from me, and he had no faith in himself. He did not believe in himself. So when he came to Sydney, I have learned enough from I've learned from my Buddhist practice, and I know how to encourage him. And also Chloe, it's the same thing. They don't think very highly of themselves. But Buddhism teaches me that everybody is a Buddha. Everyone has great potential in themselves. So I keep saying that I trust you. You can do it. You are doing well. And given time, these 2 individuals have grown to be very, very successful, very happy, and very smart people. It's because I keep saying, I trust you. And also, let me tell you something. There are people who are helping me, not working for me. I'm not doing business anymore. But when they help me, I know that they are good people. I will say, I trust you. And they're so happy to hear that. And they will even work better for me, and the results are highly satisfactory. So remember, the 3 words, I trust you, is very important. For Sensei, hope and trust go together. Hope leads to trust. Trust leads to hope. Hope is a kind of trust, and vice versa. Trust in itself is key, but it can be awakened by family, by teachers, by experiences, by life. Such as the example I've given to you regarding Kevin and also Ryan. I forgot about him. Yeah, I helped Ryan to believe in himself, to know that he's good, and he's doing very, very well also, and Chloe. Sensei urges his young readers to seek out teachers and experiences, like he did, that push them to trust their own instincts, to self-reflect, to act with courage when the time comes. These are all essential elements to establishing a self-sustaining hope. This hope is both something intrinsic and something learned. Something intrinsic that young people can learn how to better employ. Next, Sensei says hope is a decision. You have to make a decision that you have hope. I have hope. I've decided I have hope. There is hope. It's a decision. Sensei explains, when we change our inner determination, a process he often called human revolution, everything begins to move in a new direction. The moment we make a powerful resolve, every nerve and fiber in our being will immediately orient itself towards the fulfillment of this goal or desire. The decision Sensei is talking about then is not a light decision. It's more like a determination, a promise, even a vow. The challenge for young people and for all of us is to get to that inner place where we can make the new determination and stick to it. And to go through this process again and again as we go through life and face many challenging situations. It is not so easy because the world as it is can sometimes wear us down. Yeah, when you hope for something and that something doesn't come quickly, then you might lose hope. But as long as you are determined, telling yourself, no, I'm determined to achieve it, there is hope. And Sensei also says, if you fail yesterday, try to win tomorrow. If you fail yesterday, try to win today. If you fail today, try to win tomorrow, which means that there is hope and you are determined to win. Sensei shows us that deciding for hope is a spiritual challenge, a challenge of the spirit, and thus inherently poetic. Whenever youth takes up this challenge, and all of us support them in doing so, hope commands the time. You are a source of hope. Now, this is what our Kosen Rufu is all about when we encourage other people. We are a source of hope, and we give hope to people we encourage. Tell them no matter how bad the situation is, there is hope. You can get out of it. There is always something better coming along. So as soon as they have hope, then they will go on and they will have the courage to go on. Hope transfers pessimism into optimism. Hope is invincible. Hope changes everything. It changes winter into summer, darkness into joy. Hope is the sun. It is light. It is passion. It is the fundamental force for life's blossoming. Now, I'm also sharing Sensei's quotes on hope, which tells us how important hope is. He says, age is not an excuse for giving up hope. Now, I know of some member who says, I'm too old. There is nothing I want to achieve and I cannot do much. So this is wrong. It is not an excuse for giving up hope. Allowing yourself to grow passive and draw back is a sign of defeat. There may be a retirement age of work But there is no retirement age in life. We just have to keep learning and learning and changing until the end of this life. I have seen a documentary of a woman at the age of 100. She still studied and she got a PhD. Next, as long as one has hope, there is nothing one cannot achieve. Everything is born from hope. Effort and hard work construct the bridge that connects your dreams to reality. Those who make steady efforts are full of hope. And hope, in turn, arises from steady efforts. Yeah, if you have a hope and you just sit there and hope and making no effort, then it's a myth. Embrace your dreams and advance as far as they can take you. Next, even in the face of severe crisis confronting humanity today, rather than fear, we can best negotiate the challenges we face when guided by a vision of hope. Next, hope is confidence. Hope is determination. Hope is courage. And faith is the ultimate expression of hope. Belief fortifies the hope. Next, hope is the secret to a robust life force. Now, I myself always have hope. And this is why I'm living a robust life. And I've got a strong life force to realize my hope. Next, life force is the power to believe in the future, the strength to keep hope alive. Yeah, to keep hope alive, we need to have strong life force to realize our hope. And the way to obtain strong life force is to chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo and to bring forth our life force from within. Well, I have been very, very sick before, so sick that I cannot walk 200 meters. And then I chanted to have energy and to be healthy, and I'm getting better and better. Next, material wealth does not necessarily make for happiness, nor does fame. Hope is life. It's life's greatest treasure. A life without hope is bleak and grey. If you have no hope, create some. Now, if you have no hope, I have to say that there is no life. Life is becoming very meaningless. Next, no matter how long the cold, bleak days of winter may continue, winter always turns to spring. This is the law of the universe and the law of life. As long as we hold on to hope, spring is sure to come. No matter what kind of difficult situation one may find oneself in, some opening, some opportunity to fight one's way out can always be found. What is most important is to hold fast to hope, to face the future with courage. I remember there is a saying in another religion which says that if one door is closed, there is a window open. Or if a window is closed, there is a door which opens, which means that there is always a way out. No matter what may have happened yesterday, a new day of fresh possibility has dawned. You are not the same person today as you were yesterday. Our hopes, desires, and ambitions are powerful sources existing within us to shape the future. They are generating forces that create the future. To lose hope or give up one's goals because of the setbacks of the moment is to diminish one's own life potential. Then you don't want to live. You don't see any point in living, which is so sad. Hopes, dreams, faith, and a sense of mission enable us to open up our lives. Now, this sense of mission is also very important. We don't only live for ourselves. We live for others. The most important point of Nichiren Buddhism is to help others. Is to help others, to encourage them, to give them hope. And in doing so, we also strengthen our own hope, our own life force. The deeper the darkness, the closer the dawn. However profound the suffering that envelops you, never forget the inner spark of hope and courage. Never lose the capacity to wait with patience. When we limit ourselves with low expectations, the growth of the tree of happiness ceases. The power of growth, of improvement, the power to overcome all stagnation and break through every obstacle and transform a wasteland into a green field, that unstoppable power of hope resides right within your own heart. It wells up from the rich earth of your innermost being when you face the future without fear. I remember at one time when Ryan was about to graduate from university, he did say to me, he said, Nana, I'm going to graduate and I don't know what is going to happen and I have fear. But then when I think of you, I no longer fear because I have hope. So this is the hope I can give to people with my own experiences, with my own being, with my own thinking. I can generate hope in people. I can do more. I can grow. I can become a bigger and better human being. Life is a never-ending struggle to grow. When we possess the treasure of hope, it also gives rise to other treasures. Yes, if you have hope, the treasure will come. Hope draws forth our innate potential and strength. Hope is a magic wand to make our dreams come true. Again, let me repeat, when there is life, there is hope. Hope only disappears when you decide something is hopeless. Now, I'm going to share with you a recording I did on YouTube, which talks about Nam Myoho Renge Kyo and hope. Now, I hope everybody can hear. I'm going to start this video.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is the universal principle that every person has within their life. This unlimited courage, compassion, and wisdom.
Nam
Myoho.
Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo means happiness.
It's a pledge every day to myself.
Never to give up.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is the law of the universe.
Cause and effect, sound and vibrations. I can win. I got this. Even if I have a bad day, it's just if I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, it just propels me. It's just okay, one more time. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is seriously. I feel like there's nothing that I cannot achieve. Courage!
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo for me means hope.
Hope. Power.
In one word, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is me.
This is such a powerful message on YouTube that I play over and over again, and I'm sharing it with you all today, and I hope I can bring forth hope in all of you to go on living happily and achieve success. Okay, this is all that I have to share today. I will leave the rest of the time to you to share your experiences or your questions. Thank you very much.